That was a full-fledged fly. That wasn't even a fruit fly. It was a full-fledged fly. Oh, the fucking window's open. My kids ripped the screen out of that window right there. And I've told my family not to open that window until I fix the screen. Window's wide open. Bet you there's some nice hobo spiders in the basement right now too, because there's a hobo spider right outside that window, which is why I told them not to open it. Awesome. Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today you have the Rhino, and we're going to drink a beer. I have a couple beers to choose from. I don't know which one I want to drink. I have a couple glasses to choose from. I don't know which one I want to drink out of. You know what, we'll just drink this beer right here, and we'll do it out of this glass right here. So we will grab the glass. Now this beer was sent to me by Steve, so thank you very much, Steve, for sending this out. The beer is from Ridge Brewing in BC. This is their Pride beer, and it's a Berliner Weiss, 3.6% alcohol by volume. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if this was made for a Pride parade. I don't know what it is. I do know that it is the rainbow beer from this brewery. I don't know why it's a Berliner Weiss. Are you trying to say that they're sour? I don't know. No, I'm just being a dick now. I really wish that more breweries would come out and make special beers for different things. I mean, you can have a Pride beer. You can have a beer for almost everything, to be honest with you. And it connects you to your community a little more too when you do stuff like that. It's just then the question. Then you play that game, right? You connect yourself with your community more. And with parts of the community, you'll get points for doing something like, say, a Pride beer. And then there will be other groups of the community which you might not even want to be part of at all, but they'll do things like, oh, I'm going to boycott that brewery because they made a Pride beer. We're still at that point in life that somebody can make a beer for Pride Week or for the Pride Parade or for Pride in general. And somebody's going to hold it against you that you made that beer. I'm not saying you should bow to those people or anything. I'm just saying we're still in that spot where something like this can be detrimental to a business. So, as a Berliner Weiss, I did do a Weiss roll. Didn't do a huge Weiss roll. There is a haze to it, but it's only a slight haze. Lots of carbonation moving up. Straw colored. There was a bright white head. It faded pretty quickly. I don't know if once I get further into the bottle if the haze is going to get more, but it is a little bit on the little bit more see-through than I was expecting for a Berliner scent. Not as good there. Okay. Out of the glass, I get just like a nice lemony tartness. Out of the bottle, I get that same lemony tartness, but almost the same scent that I pick up on some kettle sours. That almost perm chemical scent. Yeah, that tartness with like a perm chemical scent. And that's about it. So I like the smell of this out of the glass much more than out of the bottle. Let's try it. Cheers. Okay. Now I love me Gozas and Berliner Weisses, both sour wheats, just one not quite as tart and with salt, and the other one fairly tart. That being said, if you were to drink a Berliner Weiss in Berlin, you would be drinking it usually with Woodruff syrup and through a straw. Woodruff syrup is basically just simple syrup, so you'd be adding a sugariness to it to kind of cut that sourness to it, which makes me curious if it was a fault, if it was a unmeant, like, accidental souring, and instead of dumping the beer and all that just to get people to drink it, they just added woodruff syrup to it and drank it through a straw. I'm curious if it's a style that just came out of nowhere type of thing. Very effervescent. Very effervescent, but the body is fairly light. Flavor, very tart, but not vinegary or perm chemically like I get with some kettle sours. Just very tart, more tart than I would have expected for the style. But again, I could see this being a style that would go really well with some woodruff syrup to cut that sourness away. I've actually done some Berliner Weiss videos where I actually did drink it with simple syrup and then 2 different types of maple syrup, just to see what it was like. And the syrup does really change the beer. There's also, and I don't want to say it's a fault because I've had a lot of beer from this company and they've never actually had a fault in their beer, but some people could possibly taste that and take it as a fault. There's almost a green apple taste on the back end, but I would almost think that it's more a yeast ester than a fault. It just seems to be there with the tartness. Like you get that very tart flavor, then you get this like this green apple flavor that mixes into a almost earthiness because of like a green apple skin, and then it goes into a breadiness that fades to nothing, which makes the beer moreish. And now that I've poured more in, yeah, that is more to the consistency I was expecting. Yeah, it's tart, followed by apple, and followed by breadiness that neutralizes everything. I actually quite enjoy this. It's another one of those sour beers too that with each subsequent sip, the sourness, the tartness dies back a little bit. It's almost like it's muting your tongue. I really enjoy it. 3.6% alcohol, you could drink it all day. It's refreshing. It's not overpowering. That first sip was a little overpowering. I do think you'd get a little bit of palate fatigue drinking this all day, though. Like I'm getting a residual flavor on the top of my mouth, on the roof of my mouth, right by the back of my throat. So I could see this being something that would be hard to just sit back and enjoy all day, even though you'd want to enjoy it all day if you like the style. Excuse me. The effervescence did finally send something up my throat. Basically just bready went on the way up. So thank you, Steve, for sending this out. Thank you to Ridge Brewing for making it. This is the Pride beer. Pride beer. I don't think I've actually disliked any beers from Ridge Brewing. I've liked them to varying degrees. I think they've gone from like a 5.5 up to a 9. And I think I would give this one an 8. I would probably give this one an 8 out of 10. It is a nice beer. It really is. Yeah, that's basically all I can say about it. I'll drink the rest of this beer as I watch the made-for-TV movie for Prison Break. I actually, with Prison Break sequel coming out, I thought I'd give Prison Break a chance again because I watched the first season religiously on TV and loved it. And I watched like the first 5 episodes of the second season and hated it. So I went through and I watched all 4 seasons. I just finished the 4th season yesterday, so now I gotta go watch the TV movie, so I'll drink this while I'm watching that. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful, splendiferous evening. This has been the Rhino, and I am signing off.